Amani channel, your neighborhood-friendly video producer with the story time. Now, there are going to be a couple of layers to this story. And I'll start by saying that back in 2006, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia from Tampa, Florida, where I worked as a news reporter. I moved to Atlanta to work for a small cable network called Black Family Channel. And they were launching a citizen journalism program, and I was the host. So that's why I moved here. Me and the family moved here. And so as part of me sort of learning about this like citizen journalism, I was working on my master's at the time in mass communication. So I really tried to immerse myself into this culture of citizen journalism. So I was kind of scouring YouTube, and YouTube was still really new and Facebook was really new. And I started a vlog really called My Urban Report. Now, as a news reporter, I was wound up really tight from the daily grind of covering stories and going live and rinse and repeat the next day, covering stories, coming up with story ideas, pitching stories, going out covering stories, going live. And so, I was like shooting. I basically created content everywhere I went when I first moved to Atlanta. So much so that people actually thought that I was really a citizen journalist. They didn't know me as being a true blue mainstream media dude, which I am. And so I'm from East Palo Alto, California. Now, East Palo Alto is to be distinguished from Palo Alto, which is where Stanford University is. It's like night and day. East Palo Alto, especially when I was raised, a lot of crime, violence, a lot of young people making bad decisions. There were good families. There was good things happening in the community too, but that was never really talked about, especially when we talk about news coverage. The news crews are always covering the bad news. They kind of left a sour taste in my mouth, which I think is why I gravitated towards the news business, because I was like, if you can't beat them, join them. But basically, one time when I was home, since I was vlogging for I call my vlog My Urban Report. One time when I was home, I decided to grab a camera and tell the story of East Palo Alto from our perspective, right? From a person who lived there perspective. And so my brother was driving one day. I was like, let me get this story. So this is a story that I created for My Urban Report back in the day, coming from East Palo Alto, California, land of the rogues.
If people don't have anything to do, this is the only way of making money, only way of surviving.
The factions aren't gangs as we know them, but rival groups involved in selling drugs on East Palo Alto streets.
East Palo Alto is the poorest city in San Mateo County.
But despite this reputation as a high crime city,
happens every day. Shit, somebody got to get shot.
East Palo Alto, with 24,000 people and 42 homicides last year, has the highest number of killings per capita of any U.S. city.
Just a block or two away are the mansions of Palo Alto, a reminder to the people of East Palo Alto of what they don't have.
12 hours, 12 verses, exclusively for you, wholehearted. Salim, tune into the channel,
So this is East Palo Alto, California. It's a small city that sits between San Francisco and San Jose.
This is the Bay, the 650, and this is my brother Salim channel. He works in TV. He also makes hip-hop music.
Shrouded in shadows, don't die blindly.
This is Bay Road. We're about to hit an intersection of Bay and University. If I could count how many times I hit this intersection right here, I swear it'd probably be like a greater portion of my life. This is Sacramento Street. We'll probably stop on that corner. So we're a legendary gang, set up their shop back in the days, Mexican gang, Migos. They're pretty hardcore. Last year there were a few shootings on account of some beef with Sacramento Mexicans. But they've been shut down since Officer May got killed, because a dude who basically claimed that set shot an officer about a year and a half ago or something, and basically since then they've been shut down. Cops have declared war on the gang, so it's kind of hard when they're on you all the time because of what one of your peoples did. That's how the cops do. You kill a cop, they're coming. I mean, East Palo Alto really doesn't have gangs, but there's this, that's the way they describe anything that's somewhat organized when it's not uniform. Organized without uniform is gang. Uniform and organized is called the police.
So yeah, we're approaching 101, which will take you either to San Jose or it will take you to Frisco or San Francisco. We just call it Frisco.
Teachers will no longer work for peanuts.
We have some protesters on the corner. No newspapers or TV stations there to report the people protesting.
Why is that? Because they don't give a fuck about education, though.
Yeah, so we're heading over the freeway. This is a landmark, East Palo Alto landmark now. This is the Four Seasons Hotel. It sits in East Palo Alto, although Palo Alto is now trying to claim it because it's not exactly grimy anymore, as you can see. There's another landmark on the other side of the bay if you just look to your left there, driver.
It's not a landmark, dog. It's a big blue building, and it's not a landmark. It's called IKEA, but it's a place where you buy cheap furniture, man. It's not. There's nothing special about that in East Palo Alto. They need not even have that here. This is the other side of the freeway where it's mighty plush. Like I said in the rhyme. On the other side of the freeway, it's mighty plush. This used to be the downtown area of Palo Alto. It's now the Four Seasons Hotel.
Of East Palo Alto, you mean?
Yeah, well see, there's a big dispute about Palo Alto and East Palo Alto because since Four Seasons was building here, you know, they wanted to attach it to Palo Alto, even though back in the days it was officially East Palo Alto. So there's been, but it is East Palo Alto, you're right. But the Four Seasons built on what used to be downtown East Palo Alto is what you're saying.
As you see, we have some economic growth.
It's called gentrification.
Back in the days, there was a lot of liquor stores and folks hanging out.
It's just, you know, like a Popeye's Chicken, a KFC, a local grocer. There was a True Value hardware store. A lot of people complain that since East Palo Alto changed, there aren't as many opportunities, or there's not as much community-owned business. You know, it's definitely been, people have set up shop in this city and build big business. Like Four Seasons Hotel is a major chain. I think there's one in New York, you know, and it's just as expensive to stay there as it is to stay in New York, I believe. So this is the SF Bay Area. I've heard there are suites that are over $1,000 a night. Some people spend that in a month on apartment rent here, and some people spend that in a night in a stay overlooking the dope spot in East Palo Alto. That's what's kind of ironic about the Four Seasons being there. A stone's throw from the top of that building, you got dope fiends on the ground looking for stones. It's just ironic. That's East Palo Alto though. It's like night and day if you cross that freeway. I don't want to like feed into stereotypes at the same time because there are a lot of good people out there who, you know, take care of their families. A lot of families who like do cooperatives and have property in East Palo Alto. There are a lot of people who work really hard.
Howdy, my sister went to Pally. I wasn't enrolled, no longer square. Her brother is becoming a rogue, not playing a role, cause I'm righteous and po. Teacher, got touched for the record I stole. 13 years, blessed with a natural flow. I'm a